Can you explain a little bit about, what you mean by how they're evolving? The spirits are evolving, that you can feel that?
Well, I'm reading for a woman, and her mother comes through, and her mother was pretty darn mean to people when she was living. And so as we go through the memories of what this mother was like, I can feel a certain energy. Somehow that mother in spirit is able to almost show me videos of what her life was like, how she treated her children, what it was like. But then when I start getting the message from the mother to her daughter, who is having the reading with me, I'm linking with a different spirit. The spirit of that woman when she was living feels totally different now from the spirit I'm talking to has been in eternal life for maybe 5 years. So she's changed. And I'm starting to really recognize the differences between how people were, what happened when they've passed over, and what they're becoming.
So we still evolve when we're in the spirit world.
That's how it feels to me. Again, that's not something I can't prove, but that's how it feels to me.
Any idea how we do that?
I feel that there is an extremely intelligent universe out there that is so far beyond our comprehension at the moment. We talk about spirit communication, and I think it's the tip of the iceberg. The spirit communication, the fact that we're able to prove that we can communicate with your father, your mother, your proves that that world is there. But having proved that, there is so much more for us to explore and investigate about what the universe is like. I think a lot about what it must have been like to be a human being when everybody thought the world was flat. And they did. I mean, people were, they didn't know what to do with themselves when they found out it was round. How are we going to feel when we come to really understand that we're not the only intelligent life? And if our common sense would tell us that we can't be. So people who say, well, human beings on planet Earth are the only intelligent life, doesn't make any sense to me. And the more and more readings that I do, and the more that I feel the energy of spirit, I know that there is an intelligence to the universe. But it comes in forms that we don't even understand yet. We think of intelligence having to reside in our minds. I think our minds are like this compared to the intelligence that's out there. The intelligence that has created this whole universe and keeps it going. I mean, when you think about the planets that are all sort of going around in orbits, isn't it amazing they don't crash into each other? Now, we have scientists who can explain why, but that still doesn't take away from the fact that somehow this is conceived of in a way where these planets stay in their orbits. We don't do so well on the highway as these planets do up there. And there's just an intelligence that we don't know much about yet. And I think that through spirit communication, we have an avenue. Right now, we are very, very focused on proving survival, proving that we can communicate. And I think that's very, very important. And I also think that we're going to keep that as a focus, but we're going to go way beyond that. And I'm really excited about that.
You are?
Yes, I am.
You mean in terms of quantum physics and all this stuff that everybody's talking about?
I think it's beyond quantum physics. I think quantum physics is trying to catch hold of it and explain it. But we have to remember that anything that we explain, whether we explain it through science, through medicine, through religion, theology, philosophy, these are all concepts of our brains. These are all words. Well, the intelligence that's out there goes, I think, way beyond words and way beyond what we can really comprehend. My gut instinct tells me that as we evolve spiritually, we evolve into higher and higher realms of consciousness. And the more that we are able to evolve spiritually, the closer we get to the ultimate, the truth, the one, whatever name you want to call it. And I think that there is a spiritual evolution that happens when we're in the world of spirit. The reason for trying to evolve spiritually while you're still living on earth, one is a selfish reason, to raise your consciousness as much as you can before you cross over, because then you take a higher consciousness with you. But the other reason is that the more we evolve spiritually, the more our choices and our actions are not going to be so much about me, 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 but it's going to be about the fact that we're all part of the same one. And as we realize we're all part of the same one, perhaps we won't run our world the way we do. Or perhaps we'll make different kinds of choices. Right now there are a lot of problems in our world. And we say, you know, those problems exist because people can't get along and we have to solve our problems through war. And we can sit down and on an intellectual level, we can understand why we do all the things we do. Why it's impossible to feed everyone in the world, why it's impossible to settle our differences without war, because that's what we think. But if we evolve as a human race to a different kind of consciousness, those things will be unthinkable to us. We'll find a different way. We'll find a different way to take care of our planet, ourselves. We'll find a different way to live with each other. The only reasons things are the way they are is because we've created it this way. And we can create it another way if we change our minds. And what I mean by changing our minds is that we change inside spiritually. Now, as I say that, I have a long way to go. You know, the world would be better off if I didn't use my air conditioner at all. But I don't know that I'm prepared on a hot, humid night to turn off my air conditioner, because I'm making a choice for me. But as I evolve spiritually, or as you evolve spiritually, as anyone does, maybe we will make choices for the whole that we are part of, rather than thinking of ourselves so much. So this is part of what I think goes on in the world of spirit, but we need to incorporate that in our life on earth, if possible.